the ever-changing weather around the world. Ever-diverse terrain and roads across the world. With Kumho Tyre that has conquered all. There is no road you cannot go. Go with Kumho. Kumho Tyre.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Split 3 kitchen of the V8 Vets League for Season 15, Round 5, coming from the beautiful Motegi East Circuit. And I'm John Van Ree. With me tonight, I've got the godfather of the V8 veterans, Mr. Mark Doyle. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, not bad, thanks, mate. All good.
For a cracker tonight, as of course, I think most splits had a fair bit of fun going on. And Anakin standing in for Dad, cheering on Carl Pickering, and we've got Anita Buckland, Pete Kelleher, and a few others already in the chat. And a big shout out to Steve Murray and Will Munro as well. We might just kick this one straight off, I think, Mark. We're not going to muck around too much with this one. 72 laps, 250 Ks. Boys got to do 2 stops, basically, to get home with the fuel we've been given. And it's going to be a cracker. So we might actually start off with our start here. We might jump down the back a little bit instead of the front, boys. Let's have a look what happens with the grid down the back. And so we're going to start with the blimp as well, just so we get a good view. And we'll get this one started.
Get underway and see what happens. Turn 1's going to be chaotic, I guess.
Boys didn't even get to turn 1 before the chaos.
Oh. Oh, wow.
All right, John O'Kiley off to a cracker start. Very quick last night, Jono. And I don't know what's happened there. Something's tweaked with SDK. We've got Anita in the front. Hopefully that'll sort itself out in a minute.
Race control, can you please look at car 99?
Yeah, we'll turn that one off. So good start from Jono. SDK was playing up before and looks like it's still going to give me some grief. But anyway, Malpal was another quick one. We didn't go through the grid, unfortunately. Running a little bit late tonight. Of course, long race like this, you just want to find a bit of space in this first lap, get a bit of clear air, get yourself settled in, make the most of it. Do have a few apologies tonight. We've got Rich James out with the spicy flu, and Dave Baldock's watching his beloved Port Adelaide. So I think when I last looked at the score, I don't think he'd be too happy.
It has closed up a lot, and I must say, if Dave Baldock's listening, then I think that St Kilda are not only playing Port Adelaide, but they're playing the Empires as well. So that'll get him going.
Anyway, John O'Kiley leads our first lap. Still not sure why SDK hasn't fixed itself up, but we know where everyone is. That's the main thing.
Yep.
But Anita's probably enjoying having P1 against the name, so make the most of it.
Yeah, I would. I certainly would.
So John O getting off to a good start. Might just drop back a little bit. A couple little battle packs, Scotty Perrins and John O'Gallen. This was an epic contest between these two for most of the evening. Al Powell in front of him as well. Very technical flowing circuit, the old Motegi East.
Yeah, it was difficult to find a rhythm when you had a couple of faster guys coming through from the back and then having to let them through.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of blokes that were struggling with the just looking after the tyres. Like once you lost that rhythm, you outbrake yourself, or you'd wind up, basically having your tyres cooked by mistake, and then you didn't really recover from it. So there's a fair bit of that going on for most of it.
Yeah.
Cracking along as Scotty doing really well. We might go back a little bit further. Neil Waters caught up in an epic battle here with Simon Williamson. Car sounds a little quiet for me. Not sure what's going on tonight. Hopefully that fixes it. Maybe not. Some good looking Anzac liveries this week as well. The Player One boys there.
Yes, there certainly was.
Got to say, Neil drove really well last night. He's definitely picked up the pace a fair bit from his first season with us.
And that reminds me, I haven't gone in to see whether our Anzac liveries are up in there yet, so I've got to drop that in before the broadcast.
Yes. So how was split 2 last night, Mark?
It was hairy down the back. I qualified down the back, but the times were insanely close. From I think it was first to 23rd. There was a second in it on the qualifying times.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these boys are now under an early safety car. Lucas Burt out of the pits. That's not in slow-mo mode, Stephen. It seems to be working properly. And Gunther is in the chat. I'm not going to read that one to everyone. Of course, Lucas Burt, one of our drivers from last season, in the safety car tonight. Josh Drage in race control. Josh has a very good knack of looking after these split 3 boys, keeping them all in check. Know you've gone too far when you get the magical copy. So 4 laps in under safety car, we've got John O'Kiley and SDK sorted itself out. John O'Kiley in P1, Mal Powell in 2nd, John O'Gallen in 3rd, Scotty Perrins in 4th, Adrian Zeal 5th, Nick Hasler is up 2 spots in 6th, Jeff Eddy, he's doing really well. Jeff has got himself up 4 spots in the 7th. Great drive from our regular New Yorker. Michael Mills in 8th. Jason Dunn holding out in 9th. Darren Friend up 5 spots in 10th. That's a great start from Darren. He should be really chuffed with that one. And then Michael Power up 2. Simon Williamson up 5. He was showing some very good pace for the WKMP boys last night. Great to see Simon. Hadn't raced or turned a lap in the last 4 weeks. Actually accepted his league invite to get into the server last night. And yeah, that sort of rounds out that sort of top 12. And Neil Waters, of course, was up 9, and Dave Arney in 15th is up 16 spots. So that's a great start for him. As off to Sloss Lucas. Lucas has gone in, so we're about to go green flag racing. And away we go. Only a short safety car, it's only 2 laps. But we definitely running along there. And if you needed a wave around after 3 laps of racing, Matty McMillan, you've got some serious problems. And of course, interpretations of the rule books, which is one that probably a good question mark. Have you read the regulations?
To be honest, I haven't read the regulations.
Oh, you're no.
No. I have got them on the PC. Actually, no, I don't have them on this PC because I have now got the new one going and they're on the old PC. So
Yeah.
they aren't on this PC. So, but I will download them again and have a look at this particular ruling.
Yeah.
It has been controversial.
Yes, it was a change of rules between 14 and 15. Oh, nice little move here from Michael Mills on Hasler. Change of rules between full, little tap. Oh, can he catch it?
Oh. Bad.
Yeah, no, just a minor variation on 102, which is what you kind of expect from a league. Is it jumping on to the right person here, if I can find him? Just bear with me while I just go through my notes. Yeah, there's a slight variation of change between seasons, so you always should read them and check them. Like for those, like I'm heavily involved in the regulations for the Pro Series. I'm basically responsible for looking after the ops manual of that series, and yeah, it's a, you've got to make sure, oh, that's what I was looking for. A little bit of argy-bargy. Open corner's wrong.
Oh, God. There's all going on.
All going on back there. There was Patterson, Eddie, Malpal, Baldock in the middle of that as well. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying, yeah, working on the regs for the Pro Series and stuff, there's always changes, there's always things happening, and if it taught me anything, doesn't matter what series you're racing, you need to know what the rule book says, you need to know what's in it back to front, and you'd be surprised when you start talking with the likes of Jake Burton, Jared Philsell about the ops manuals or the regulations in a racing event and the sub-regs, how those guys at that elite level will literally pull the whole thing apart and break it down into wording of each paragraph.
Yep.
Just to get an advantage. For those in our league here who don't know, like the likes of Peter Baxter from Split 2, he's the chief steward of the Pro Series as well. So if you ever want to question something like a decision or anything like that, or want to get an explanation or have a chat on the regs and stuff, go have a talk to someone like Pete. And in the current season 15 rulebook, we've got illustrations even to outline what's an overtake. The overtaking car illustrates what a bump and run is, illustrates what goes on around the corner when you're going to overtake and pass someone. So really it's well worth a look, just even for yourself. Like when you're sitting in the car racing, you can get a lot of bump and runs, or you have an incident with someone, you're only seeing that from what you feel and what you felt. But the guys in race control got the ability to stop, pause, rewind, look at it from 10 different angles. But they're all breaking it back down to the basic concept of racing rules. Yeah.
And I got a couple of bump and runs last night that I don't really bother calling them in because it's either going to get looked at afterwards or it's not going to be anything that is going to be major concern. And if I don't lose the position out of it, I'm not really that fussed. So I'll let it go. I let those ones go. If I get put in the wall, that's when I call them out. But a little bump and run. Hey, Robbins racing.
And that's one of the things of the Pro Series, is that they're trying to encourage that rubbings racing. Rubbings racing is good entertainment for the spectator. So you're trying to encourage that, and the drivers don't want to be given a bloody 5-second or 15-second penalty just because they've rubbed some panels.
Yes, well, rubbing is racing, and I am still coming after you.
Pictures for the Victorians from Anakin. Nice one off. They're lap 9 now. Boys are chugging away quite well. Sitting on board here with Neil Waters, tucked up behind Simon Williams and Dave Arney. Dave up 22 spots. Racking start from Dave.
Like that.
To be pretty chuffed for that.
Yes, Gunter. First tap is a warning. Second one won't be pretty.
Oh, nice little overtake there. That's Mal Powell. There's the lap down, unlapping himself. Of course, Dave works on that theory. I tried his theory last week. The first tap's a warning, second tap you're off. Tried that theory last week at Long Beach with the walls. I can confirm that after the second tap, the walls are still there. I just realised I missed the Bulldogs pass of the century on lap 7.
Oh no.
Of course, another century after last week.
Let Dave Bulldogs not put the calendar out then. Century apart between each week.
Nice little lap, Adrian Zeal. He's doing really well, running in the top 10 as well. Delta Force Racing entry. And he's under a good little battle here with Jason Dunn. And Dunny in an old Mates and Sons livery. A great little drive from Adrian. So far. Work our way down the back a little. A couple of good little battles going on. Andrew Johnson is in the wall. Just missed the tap. Sorry, Andrew. I think it took him a little bit to get himself unstuck from the wall there. Gets it going. Well, I think we're about to get another safety car. Let's jump back up with Adrian. Maybe catch up with my special comments. Mr. Hoffman, how are you? Hello, Hoffy.
Yeah. How you going, mate?
Oh, I'm good. I've been told to get on because Anakin won't say anything for me anymore, so here I am.
Of course, Anakin, your super coach, I've heard.
He is, yeah. Very quick. Very, very quick.
Nice pass there by Dunny. And you've got Hazel and Mills tucked up behind this battle pack here. There's Mills. Great little overtake. Of course, another little epic battle that goes on all night between Neil Waters and myself. And of course, what's that? One yet. You know I don't win, Boulder. You're the team champion, you keep telling me that. Anyway, the WKMP livery, that's what I was about to talk about, on the roof. I'll try and get the chopper view, might show it. There's a, we've got a photo there and the VC citation for Lieutenant Albert Varela from the First World War on the Western Front, where he led his platoon into the trenches of the Germans using his revolver and taking key machine gun positions with a very small number of members of the platoon left. And that, of course, is Richard Burrell's grandfather. So that was the big Anzac Day tribute that was on the WKMP cars. So I just thought I'd share that one. Will Munro saying you're not allowed to winch off.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Gunter saying he's been wearing it with pride over the last few weeks. Has picked this up, lap 13. Simon Williamson's just heading off. And some good little battles, not too many. The boys starting to spread out a bit. Keely's 2.6 seconds ahead of Gallen. Might just jump back with Dave Arney. Dave Arney putting a lot of pressure on Darren Friend now.
I see Laurie made it back into the field for last night.
Yeah, Laurie was back.
For a while.
Had some good pace too. Laurie?
Yeah, I see that. He's ahead of Bulldog, but then no, I don't think that's too hard to do.
Cheat sheet? What cheat sheet, Steve?
I've got to ask Mark, how was the setup?
I won't say, because it might offend people.
So it was good.
No, I wouldn't say it was good. I only done, 11 laps on it before last night's race. Struggled with brake bias as usual. And I don't think I had it right through the race at all. Until the wheel failed. Again.
Do you have hardware problems too?
Yeah, my wheel went into settings mode again and wouldn't let me change up and down coming down the straight, and couldn't raise the race control because none of the buttons were working, and so just parked it in the gravel trap at turn 1. And when I eventually got the button to work, I just called for a safety car, and that was it. I just didn't bother going on because it was going to be an issue. So
Will Munro in the chat saying it was a great setup.
yeah, it's a great setup in this lane.
A little bit of help in the working out what the bias was from our resident race car driver in our team. And once I got that dialed in, I was quite comfortable. I thought it was a good setup for just doing consistent look after the tyres, look after the car runs. Like probably not a great setup to push hard, but a great setup to be balanced for a consistent run.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's something to do with the last update or the way Jamie's setting up the car, but if you sort of don't push it too hard for the first 2 or 3 laps, they come on and you can sort of hold your pace over the stint.
Yeah, I just got a message by a messenger from a certain Ben Anthony, who says he will be making his debut next week and coming after John immediately.
Really? Oh, see it to believe it.
I was thinking the same.
He was coming round 1 this season to take out the championship, so.
Well, that's what I heard.
Yeah. I
heard Ben.
we were going to get a look in. It was all the Ben Anthony show.
So it's out there now.
Yeah.
It's got to turn up next week.
It's public.
Ben Anthony.
In writing. Team boss of Taipan Esports. The man, the myth, the legend. No pressure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Jump back Eagle, little battle pack is back around 13th. He's talking about the man Laurie Saunders. Got a few boys tucked up behind him.
Jeez, I'm not sure I'd want to make my debut at Indy Road.
Yeah.
I'd have picked a better track.
As I said in the chat today to Scotty Van Loon, you just got to work out what the slowdown is for taking the three corners on the oval.
I did see that.
If you can't laugh, you can't do anything, can you?
Oh, it certainly won't be hard to work out.
Nah. A bit of fun, that one. Well, Jeff Sanford, another guy who's getting very consistent, very quick these days. He's improved a lot as well.
Oh, Ben says he never said that. Everyone else had said it for him.
Just like you said, he's there next week.
I'll have to turn up next week. I'll have to make sure I'm not working. We're not rescuing somebody who got their truck bogged.
Oh no.
And that's what happens.
Oh, who got their truck bogged?
Oh, one of the nuffs I work with.
There's plenty of them.
Put a nice set of dual wheels into the back of it, trying to reverse out of a farmer's grape block and put it up between the rows, and when he went the foot into it, it just went down. It didn't go anywhere.
There you go. Ben Anthony's just saying he's going to start the practice laps tomorrow. Obviously going to lay down the gauntlet to Scotty parents. See if he can do more practice laps in him.
Or Mel.
Or Mal, yeah.
Why start tomorrow? Start tonight.
Just putting it out there that with Motegi East, the first lap I turned was 10 minutes into practice.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable listening to you last night during practice.
Oh, I was in a good mood last night off.
I know, that's why it was enjoyable.
It's like, where does this track go?
We've done it a few times. We've done it, I think the last time we did it was at night.
Done it at night. And I think last time we were here, though, we did the full circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a lot more challenging.
Very much so.
Of course, we've got someone else who's taken the self-proclaimed role as the number one in split 3, so it was easy just to rock up and just drive. Not naming any names of South Australian drivers.
Can South Australians drive, can they? I'm still yet to see one that can. I see a lot over here in Mildura have absolutely no idea what they're doing.
Will Munro's asking where Malpal is. Malpal's in 27th, a lap down. He's keeping up with the boys in front of him. He's got Nick Hasler in 7th, so he's hanging on to those lads. And there goes the turn, 19. Nice little catch through the gap there. Nicely gets through away with that one. But yeah, Mal battling away nicely. As we might quickly jump on, speaking of South Australian drivers. Have a look how he's getting on. Bulldog, of course. Driving very well. trying to work out what Stephen Murray's on. I used to drive 240k a year, Mark. B doubles Adelaide to Goulburn. So there you go, with Stephen Murray. Definitely get some miles over that way.
Yep. Certainly would be.
Don't you, Goulburn's not much better than South Australia, so. Sorry if anyone's in Goulburn. I'd stay with me work up there. It's either foggy or blowing a gale or raining, so.
Goulburn's just a part of South Australia. It's just so far away.
Extension.
Yeah, that's right.
Where's Bulldogs WKMP livery?
Oh yeah, wow. That's
It's yeah. Do we really want to put our livery on that? It's no. Look, David's running his Dave 37 racing. It's what our agreement was. He wants to run his blue 37 livery. We just couldn't convince him into a green 37 livery just yet. Hang on to it, Dave. Hang on. Yeah, it's Dave's. It's on there. There's WKMP. All the sponsors are on there. There's WKMP on the back and on top of the bonnet there. Dave's just having some fun, and we're having some fun with Dave. That's not how you do it, Dave. Keep it on the black stuff, mate.
Yes, he sounds like Glenn Seaton and he drives like Glenn Seaton.
Yes, he does have a team nickname, for those who don't know. His nickname is Hairy Seaton. And he actually has a book out. Probably should show that picture.
Yeah, he should.
Let's go back up Michael Mills. That battle's tightened up again. And while we're doing that, I'll see if I can make this happen. I'll let you take over the comms for a minute, Hoff.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, that's different. I think Mark should do it. Oh, that's Michael racing around on the left-hander. Now the right-hander. Yeah, start to get up it now. Yeah, just send it into the next left-hander. He's doing well.
Very well. Running in 7th place there. Got Zeal and Friend just behind.
Yeah, track's very good for short shifting. You get a lot of power down. Short shifting early. And that's the way Jamie's sets work best, short shifting.
Well, that explains it. He is shifty.
Yeah, and he actually mentioned that, what was it, 2 or 3 seasons ago, that, oh look, there he is, great
there
work.
it is, the great book. If you're after the autobiography of Hairy Seaton, highly recommend you go out and read it. Of course, it's the official history of Dave Bulldog, with Gunther von Nordschleife and Blake Warboys contributing. Absolutely well worth a read.
It'd be all of, what, 1 page?
And that's the picture.
Anyway, thought I'd share.
And no, Anakin, no one's going to ask me about my brake upgrade ability. Because that's what failed on me last night, because I did an RTFM, which stands for Read the Effing Manual.
Just answer a couple of quick questions. Gunter, yeah, the Astor is probably the best place in Goulburn. Have had a beverage there once or twice. And Anita wants a copy of Hairy Seaton, so we'll have to see if we can organise an autographed copy of it for you, Anita.
We'll put that in the mail this week.
Yeah, take your time reading it because it's all over very, very quickly.
Kind of. I just fell off a horse, but anyway. It's good. After Dave being with us last week, this is good.
Just payback, Dave.
It's payback. Lap 23.74.
And the back cover's very, very enjoyable too because it's My Little Pony.
Kids will get a great kick out of that.
They do it.
So John O'Kiley absolutely flying. He's about 2 seconds up the road from John O'Gallen. Starting to deal with a little bit of traffic. Up 24 now, 74, so 30 laps to go. The race been quite settled. Everyone's made their first stop. Have a bit of a look at the strategy. Get that up on the screen. So everyone's about to make their first stop, sorry. About lap 28, I think. A little bit ahead of myself, sorry.
Oh, look at that. Cole Pickering's doing me proud. He's up a heap of spots.
Yeah, up 6 spots in the 19th.
I actually haven't been on track with him this week. He's been asking me questions and I've just been sort of guiding him through voice. So, no, he's catching on real quick. And, yeah, so it's good to see that someone I'm sort of coaching that way is doing well just from, doing his own thing, not worrying about anyone else. So good on him.
That's good. That's the trick. You just got to get pace. Well, not get pace. You got to get consistent, and then the pace will come.
Yep. Got to learn to be smooth. It's like buttering bread. Be smooth.
That's pretty much the trick. That was my goal last night. It was just not to overdrive the car, keep it on the black stuff. Whatever happens, happens. There's one jump up. Dave Arney, up 26 spots in the 5th at the moment. Just holding out Nick Hasler behind him.
Down the straight, here we go. I'll lap with Hoff if I can get it right. So, lift off there at the Marshall Station, brake at about the 100. Keep it in third, just coast through. Hit the shadow, lift off again, let it coast. A little bit of gas, just enough to keep it flowing. Right about now, hit fourth, gas it up, and then right about now, hammer it all the way down here, lift off just before the start of the ripple strip, down the second, hold it in tight, in the third now, gas it up, and turn in now, keep on it, stand on it, and then lift off about now, brake in the third, want to ride that curve, little bit of gas, lift off, and then start to gas it up, flat out, there at the line, back off down the second, hold it in tight, short shift in the third, go hard, and then lift off now, brake now, down in the second, hold it in tight, start to gas it up, short shift in the third, and away you go.
Nice simple lap. Easy lap. Man himself, Mr. Andrew Hoffman. There was a couple of comments in the chat there. And Gunther has something that can help be smooth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. And what is it?
I was going to say don't ask.
As Simon Williamson peels off into the pits. Sanford's gone into the pits as well. Scotty Perrins, we haven't mentioned him for a little bit. He's running around in third spot. Nice gap. He's about 2.5 seconds behind Gallen. 7-second gap back to Dunn.
I really got to say, I'm enjoying watching Scotty's consistency this season, last season as well.
Yeah, he's putting in a lot of laps just to be consistent.
Yeah, that's the key, consistency. Say it all the time.
Yeah, there's a few out there, you know, I'm in that class that aren't natural racers. We don't really have that ability to pick things up really, really quick. So it's a lot of practice to sort of work out where you need to be and what to do on track.
It does take time to learn where to put the car, how to set it up. I must have missed rocking up. 50 minutes of practice is probably not the ideal way to go into it either.
No, it's probably not.
Jump on with Richo. Richo battling away with Carl Pickering here. Dives into the pits. Another battle on the moment. It's Brendan Zatera and Michael Power. It's Jeff Eddy just in front of these boys. Jeff does it, waking up at 4:30 in the morning to come race with us.
Yeah, that's commitment or stupidity.
Commitment.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, it's like getting up at 4:30 in the morning just to be at work by 5. Yeah. Don't have to do that, thank God.
Yes. Got for myself as well. A few more in. Deal and Waters. This is a good little battle pack we've got going here with Eddie, Zatira, Power, Sanford. Mel Powell just about latched on the back, 12 seconds behind now. Dave Baldock into the top 10.
Jeez, everyone went quiet then.
I was going to say, who do you pay to get that high up?
We'll look at the inside here from Power. Not quite getting it done. Stephen Murray asking what your fuel figures were off.
Oh, geez, I can't remember. I think they were 2728 or something like that. I think on my quali lap was was actually fuel saving lap because I just I wasn't really confident on the track, but I think I did 2.6 on a quali lap for a what was it? Can't remember the lap time. I think it was a 3. Yeah, 1:19.3.
It's always interesting when we get into these longer race formats. You've got to start thinking about your fuel numbers and how it all pans out. Best way to tackle a strategy.
Yeah, tracks like Indy Road. What's another one we've got? Watkins Glen. They're all high usage tracks unless you can fuel save, which will save you bucket loads. So they're high speed tracks. If you can save fuel, you know, you'll do really well.
Yeah, the old Lifton Coast.
Yes.
Scotty Perrin's now tucked up behind Jason Dunn. Just a quick look. So Kylie Dunn, Perrin's winning on 29. Arnie Hasler on 27.
I think we better lock the door.
Hmm?
I said, I think we better lock the door to the kitchen.
Why is that?
The football is over.
Oh no.
And we may have a South Australian pay us a visit.
Oh, don't tell me they won.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Port Adelaide.
Oh, did they win?
Yeah.
Yeah, suck shit, Ross Lyon. That's what I think of you. And I barrack for St Kilda.
We won't hear the end of that all week, but anyway.
Yeah. Knocked off the leaders, jeez.
Connor Gallen stuck into the pits, lap 31.
You know, I've got a mute button. I don't have to listen to him.
Have a look. How's my old mate Kunta going? Mr. von Nordschleife. Nice him to finally put a real picture of himself in his SDK driver profile.
Yeah.
Car looking quite well handled. He's got Andrew Johnstone tucked up behind him.
I really wouldn't want to see that happen, Stephen, at all. Because we would actually never hear the end of it at all.
You know, that'd be a permanent mute.
Yes, I'd be writing to the creators of Discord.
You're right.
Well, yeah. There's a very sore point with him that someone else has won one, but anyway. Sweet Mr. Bulldog, here he is. Still circulating, tucked up. Behind.
That's what you get.
Tucked up behind Simon Williamson. Battle for 20 and 19. And Simon just mowing a bit of grass there for us. And Bulldog get the pass done this time. Do know he suffered a little bit from cooking tyres. I think was the terminology used last night. My tyres are cooked. Now the battle on track everyone's closest. Mal Pal, he's got himself up to 17th now, fighting his way back. He's tucked up. Brendan Zatera. Nice overtake coming down in turn one. Gets the job done. Great little battle. Just up the road, we've got Jeff Eddy and Darren Friend. Both of them trying to chase down Simon Clapham.
quite a nice little paint job, that one, isn't it?
Jeff's, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's see me look at it from far, Chase. Yeah, it's quite neat, quite tidy. There's the old rear chase.
Not as good as the shiny red, but yeah, no, it's very nice.
Of course, Team 126 Racing. Vanity races on. We dig New York. Of course, big shout out with Jeff. As we said before, a resident New Yorker. The big house from early in the morning. We might go back, have a look how Jason Grenshaw's getting on. Still battling away, chasing down Carl Pickering. Front of Gunter. He's hanging on at the moment. Leader's back in 27th. Bit of a battle and drive back that way. We might just check in on Lawrence Saunders. He's running around in 18th. It's good to have Laurie back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's another guy who's showing a fair bit of pace these days too. I was quite surprised, well not surprised, impressed by his qualifying time. Adrian Zeal still running in 8th spot. He's got Neil Waters behind him in 13th. Sorry, up 13 spots in 9th. So Neil's another one who's coming on leaps and bounds as this season goes further, getting that consistency.
Yeah, I've noticed that he's been sort of gone from, you know, bottom of midfield to sort of that top end of midfield, so that's good to see.
Mm. Yeah, him and Jeff Sanford have both, I think, taken a big step where they finished last season to where they are now, halfway through this season.
Oh, absolutely.
It's lap 36. Madison, another one battling away. Tucked up behind the one and only David Baldock, keeping him honest. He tries to hunt down Simon Williamson. And Mel Pell in for his second stop. Oh, crunch for old Pato. Power. A little battle here. All bunched up together. What's this in front of these boys? Phil Marsh.
Yeah, Phil Marsh is another one that's starting to get a bit of confidence and moving forward too.
Yeah, old Marshy last night. 0x race.
Oh wow, excellent effort.
Yeah, well done.
Only 2 drivers last night. 0x with 3. Not going to name the other one in case Baldock's listening.
Yeah, don't go down that road.
Yeah. It's great to read, Jeff. Jeff just sneaking past me there. Like I said, I just said this strategy is looking after tyres, looking after the car.
And if you donate to John, I can give you free lessons. You'll save them.
The Castle is still under a bit of pressure from Dave Arney. Starting to get some bunching up of packs again. They're heading into the pits.
Would have been good to have one or two of these split three drivers in Discord with us.
More than welcome to jump in the rain room, drag is in. And continuing on, might just keep an eye on these boys for a minute. Dave did drive really well, Dave Arney. Start rear of grid, but just showed a lot of pace. Drove really well.
It would be a 25 spot, yeah, you're doing well.
Not the easiest track to pass on.
Have you actually watched him on these replays? Because he never forces the issue.
Dave, nah.
Yeah, he pushes it, but he never forces the issue, and yeah, that's really, really good.
There's a lot can be learned from that. That's kind of the philosophy that I've had of late is just don't force it, just be there. The races are long. You just don't want to cook your tyres just trying to force a move. Because in the end, you just, even if you get the move done, you're still going to be second best.
Yes.
Yeah, and for those...
Yeah, Nick, just jump in, mate. There should be a split 3 green room in Discord, in the Vets Discord. You're welcome to jump in.
For those drivers that are quick, that are in the top 10, split 1, split 2 or split 3, and then they drop down the field and start pushing the barge on their way through, this is what you need to be looking at. What?
Shouldn't be. Just jump in anywhere. What's the next one down below that? Give me a second. Just jump in the general voice practice room. I'll drag you up from there. But Arnie battling away here. Here we go. Going to get the move done here. Nice pace. Gets it in. Continuing on. John O'Gallen and Jason Dunn. Jason Dunn still sitting in second spot. And there's 2 green room. Yep, there we go. How are you, Nick?
Yeah, good. Good yourselves?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, good evening, Nick. Been a while since I've seen you in anywhere.
Yeah, well, I bloody
Oh, John O'Kiley. Did very well to keep control of that.
Did the Shadow Boys drag you in?
Yeah, I had
kicking and screaming?
about 2.5 years, 3 years ago, I bloody ruptured my Achilles. So it sort of put an end to my racing for almost 3 years.
Oh, that's not good.
The old Achilles, it's not one you really want to do too much with.
Apologies, I had my volume down. I was probably speaking over the top of someone.
You're right. And Gunter in the wall as well.
Oh no.
Gunter Von Smashy.
Yep. And of course, trying to work out who it is. In 20th, I think we've got Darren Friend has just blown his engine and parked it up. So we are now under safety car.
Yeah, about one lap too early.
That's perfect. Interesting conversations are about to come about fuel saving.
Easy, easy.
Yep. You were in my ears, Hoff. What would Hoff do?
I would pit.
Yeah, no,
Abs-
you'll see. There's a flurry of Blakes pitted. So Perrins is in, Hazel is in. Upman.
Yeah, I rolled the dice.
Yeah, oh, I'm in as well. I think you had to. I think it was 40. That was my magic number. 45 was the magic number. So we'd had, just thinking, might be able to save a little bit under the safety car, at least get 1 or 2 back, and then you just had to really try and save at least 2 laps of fuel for the rest of the distance. But instead of sort of playing the pace with the safety car, after the safety car, playing the race pace with everybody, I just went straight away into fuel safe mode, which meant at the end I then had fuel to race with. Stephen Murray saying that Gambo stopped on the same lap in race 1 and got home.
I think a bunch of people, I think their safety car in split 1 came out on about lap 43 or 44.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable going then.
And then, but I think most people, I was listening to bloody Rick and Pete in that race, and they were on the last lap. They were saying, "Nope, such and such is in, such and such is in, such and such is in." I think about 10 people must have pitted with only a couple of laps to go in split 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 30 laps was the magic number, isn't it? For perfect.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, I think it was 29 was the full tank number for 29:30. Yeah. So I'd gotten 31 out of the start with that safety car, so I thought I'd be okay.
I won't even tell you what mine would have been, but we'll leave that alone.
Would have been?
Would have been, yeah. I had brake failure last night because I didn't refer to the frickin' manual. They brake.
And started the second lap under the safety car. Here comes all the wave rounds. First one. I think it was Mal Powell, who was tucked up under there going, "Can I go? Can I go?"
What happened to him? He got a penalty early in the race, and then I think he must have hit some cones or something coming into pits and got himself
no
a racing
flag.
penalty.
Yeah. I think that was the story.
What Stephen's written there in chat about Michael Taliantich, for him to run out on the line is very, very rare.
Yeah, Mike's usually pretty much on the game.
Oh, he's better at fuel saving than me, so that's really saying something.
Some people are just unbelievable at it. I can't. I'm crap. Like to save a little bit. He was. I think he made a comment that to save the fuel, you're dropping you're losing 0.07 of a second a lap. I mean, geez, if I do a lap within half a second of each other, that's consistent for me. Let alone drop just 0.07 to save fuel.
No, well, I went away from the old clutch and rolled just to the lift and coast. So just no lift. No, 2/3 of the
Yeah.
way down the straight and coast.
I tend to make stupid mistakes when I clutch and roll, like you come into a corner too fast and just run off the other bloody side.
Yeah, that's why I refused to clutch. And I found I was saving more fuel doing the lift and coast than I was clutching anyway. Previous times when I've done that.
Yeah, it's a case of how long it takes you to pit, from pit entry to pit exit, and the pit itself, and then sort of working out what your time needs to be so you can cover that off. Yeah, so for example, you might work out that your 710's slower on a lap than than say P1, and on your second stop, if you can say that 710's but be in range of their pit stop through the pit stop time, you'll be right on them when you come out, and that's what makes all the difference.
Yeah, you've got to make that decision straight away. So you go with no mercy on your tyres, no mercy on your fuel and pit. It's nothing worse than being stuck in the middle when you've been going slow, saving your tyres, and you realise that you haven't saved enough and you've got to come in.
Yeah, the old heart sinks in the mouth at that stage. Of course, the other one too is having the software that reads it out correctly to you, so you know exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
I'm old school. I don't have any of that stuff. I do it all in my head. This is when I need to pit. This is what I need to do per lap. So I don't have anything else.
Interestingly, Mel Powell's ducked in for another pit stop. Another pop up. There's Lucas. Heads off towards the pits. Yep,
So Mal must be like the last car on the lead lap or something,
yeah,
is he?
last car on the lead lap. Most fuel. See what Lucas can do. Can you get around the corner? Nice driving, Lucas.
Yeah, one hat gone.
You'll be
Jono has gone. Nice and early.
He's driving well, just too quick.
Always been quick, just always made the odd silly mistake, which I did show one earlier, but he got away with it. No, it's just about getting that consistency now for Jono, I think. The pace he's got, he'll definitely be hassling the boys in split 2 next season.
You could have my spot any day.
Oh, come on, Mark, stop it.
Jono Gallen getting through in the back there. Dunn, Arnie, Mills, Perrin, Zeal, Hasler, Tatera, Saunders round out our top 10. Will Munro saying he pre-worked out the numbers and have it on a small tablet on the rig, refers to it many times about the amount of time and set up on his stream deck so he can adjust it. And Mick Clifton in there cheering on Gallen and Arnie. Now I usually have written out what the plan is beside me. Know what my earliest first stop is and my earliest last stop. have a bit of a plan, but the old safety car changes that. And, like with a safety car on lap 41, you got to roll the dice and just think, can I do it? Have a little bit of flexibility. There's a little battle back in the middle here. Getting the hurry up from Simon Williamson.
Is this race had good flexibility last night? There were 3 scenarios you could have run with.
Yeah, I thought the fuel mix was good for that. The only thing I wasn't really confident on was the tyre wear, because I hadn't done enough long runs to work out what the tyre wear was actually going to do around this place. And like as Fluffy was saying earlier, you know, you just got to look after them those first few laps and don't overheat them after that. Only up 27 spots.
Did he stuff qualifying or?
Yeah. Yeah, he stuffed qualifying, so started up the rear.
Mm.
A tough gig. But did really well. Now tucked up behind Jeff Stanford. Waters in front of those guys. And Mel Powell now. Carl Pickering is spinning off there. Mel's going to tuck himself up into 20th. Chasing down Dave Baldock, who's up 10 spots. Of course, Baldock, another one who buggered up his qualifying.
I see a nice WKP train there on the time.
Yeah. It's the three of us.
Stanford under a bit of pressure back there, is he? He had a lock up a few turns back.
Yeah, Mick's tucked up right behind him.
Yeah, just by sitting on Laurie there, you can see Jeff going hard into the corners and was allowing Laurie to pull away coming out and sort of hold them at speed. And that,
Oh, look out.
he's gone.
Turned the wrong way.
Yeah, Simon was struggling to hang on to the back of me for the previous 3 or 4 laps through that section of the track, and he just went that little bit too hard on that one.
Yeah, the tail does get a little bit lively when you come onto that little short straight.
I just found if you got yourself on the curb nicely, it sort of dug it in the rear end a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where you if you find you're coming out sliding, you know you're going to eat the tyres up. So, you know, with me, I'll short shift and then gun it. And
Yeah.
do that for a few laps and see what the tyre wear is and if I get any gains. I don't really want any losses. If I come out the same speed, it's all good.
It's like I said, I was short shifting in the fourth and just letting it run, letting the momentum carry through.
Yeah.
Felt a little out of control the first couple of times, and once it settled, it was really, really comfortable. So John A's gone again. He's out to 3.5 second lead from John Gallen. Dunny.
He didn't pit onto a safety car, did he? So he's...
Yeah, so Kylie, Gallen, Dunn, Arnie, Mills still have to pit. Then yeah, Perrins, yourself are on lap 41 strategy. Laurie Saunders has to pit a second time as well, and then Waters, Sanford, Power, Van Ree are all in that lap 41.
So I've already asked Mark this, Nick, and yeah, I always get the same answer, so it becomes boring. How did you find the setup?
You know, the last time I raced a fixed setup was back in the OSR Dev series, and I could not drive those cars. Probably, I mean, it's as much about talent as everything else. I find these pretty easy to drive, to be honest with you. The thing I'm finding hard to adjust to is, generally speaking, as I said, it's been so long since I've raced, is that I always used to carry a lot of front bias, well, relatively a lot of front bias. Like I'd always run between 52 and 55 front bias. And even with these setups, I still think I'm running, you know, around 51 to 52% front bias. Whereas I know everyone else in our team, you know, they run as low as 48. But you know, I still feel myself locking up rears, even with it. So I don't know how that can work, to be honest with you. But generally speaking, I find the setup's really good. I think also with the track temperatures, I'm finding myself faster at the end of the stints with low fuel.
Yeah.
And just a question from the chat for you, Hoff. What did you think of the grip level this week?
Grip level through practice was sort of here nor there. I found it changed. Through practice, last night it was neither here nor there, but in quali, I found it really grippy.
Still keeping the pressure on Jeff. Allowed Neil Waters to break out a little bit. Tightening up at the front. Only now starting to put a bit of pressure on Jono.
I must admit I was surprised at this stage of the race that I was expecting the top 5 or so to really do a runner.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same, knowing that they hadn't stopped.
Yeah, like Scotty Perrins was the first of this of the 41. You know, trying to get 33 laps. So
Real Waters is spun.
you'll want to forget that.
Yep. He's done very well all night, up to this stage. Yeah, I was a bit the same. I was surprised that they didn't blast away as quick as they did. And, like, I know I was starting to lose time to Mickey, because Mick knew he had to pit, or wanted to pit again.
Mm.
It was about this stage where I was really, from my own perspective, was really just concentrating on fuel numbers, see where I was going to be in 10 laps time. Just all of Hoffy's comments from the past 12 months going through the back of my brain on how to fuel safe. Coach in the corner, what would Hoffy do?
Oh my God, really? I feel so touched. Oh, Gwen was in chat. I shouldn't have said that.
What was that?
Stephen Blank there in the chat with some good advice on braking, as with checking that master cylinder size as well, of course.
Yeah, that is also important.
I found, Jane, depending on the track, your wheel range, I tend to adjust that as well to the track, so the more flowing the track is, the higher the range, the tighter it is, the lower the range.
Yeah, I didn't have time to play around with that last week, but I do remember Vargs and a few others saying previously when we raced at Long Beach that you want to be running with the 540, sorry, wheel range.
Yeah.
That sort of comes into play as well, doing your setup.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing to try to reduce it. Like, that was one thing that sort of made me get a bit of speed early, like a while ago, was turning the wheel range down. Because to drive this car, you've actually got to lift, brake, coast, and then on it again. So I turned down the wheel range, so it caused me to get into that rhythm, and the smoothness started to come out, and a bit of speed.
Yeah. I don't know, and I've played around with it before as well. It's like I said, the flowing tracks, you need to have that higher range. The rougher tracks is like the rough air surface tracks as well, the smaller range helps. A little battle starting to form here. Michael Mills under a lot of pressure from Scotty Perrins. And then Dunny tucked right up behind John O'Gallen. Dave Arney not too far behind those boys. There's lap 56 to 74 ticks over. These boys start lap 57. Let's go check on a friend of ours, see how he's getting on. Up 13 spots in the 16th, Mr. Baldock. He's battling away, trying to track down Simon. Was complaining at this stage he didn't cook these tyres.
Or we are in the kitchen.
A couple of things I have found since coming back, and and when you do light up your tyres, it takes a long time to get your full grip back.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that I don't know if it's set up so much or if there's been changes in the models over the seasons, but I cannot engine brake as fiercely as I used to. Like changing down to second at high revs, it doesn't like that anymore. You really lock up the rears a lot more frequently when I'm downshifting now than I ever used to.
I could say run a bit more rear brake bias to sort of counteract that.
Got anything I'll be doing? But they have made some minor changes, I think about 6 months ago, to the damage model and a few other little bits and pieces. Oh, Mr. Bulldog! Mr. Bulldog!
Oh no.
No, Dave!
Look at those spots just slide down.
Can't park there, son. And jump back up, John O'Gallant.
Dave, I didn't see a beer stand behind that wall, so I'm not really sure what your aim was there.
I'd have been scoping one out for next race we've got there.
Something,
behind the counter.
something to do with getting airtime, I think.
And did you notice there, Dave, that Carl did not slow down and say go ahead, because I said don't frickin' do that with Dave, leave him behind.
As Gallen and Dunn, first ones to blink. John O'Kiley still circulating in front. 59.
A loose pony.
Whilst he's got the pace on the field, you'd still almost expect him to react in the next lap or two, wouldn't you, to those two?
Yeah, you'd have to be planning to do that.
I haven't been watching closely enough the lap times, but he could probably still stretch it out to 5 laps. I mean, he's got some clear track in there. There's nothing worse than feeling like you have to pit to cover the field or cover stuff when you've got clear track all around you.
Scotty Perrins just had a little off skill.
I think, did Scotty... oh, no, he did have an off there. I think
Yeah.
Yep. Some little opportunity taking advantage of that.
One day that is. Oh, it's alive.
And Scotty would be upset with himself over that.
And Dave confessing there, that's why he doesn't have the WK&P paint on. So I think that was you, Will, asking the question earlier, or Stephen. Someone was asking the question about Dave's livery. There's the answer.
Oh, he's made it back into the chat.
Hello, Miss Harry Seaton.
Wiped the tears out of his eyes and he's back. Michael Power dies into the pits. This was the stage where I was starting to go, how's this going to pan out for the strategy?
You know, I'm running about 2 seconds a lap off pace trying to save.
Some impressive driving.
Oh, might have to get myself a drink.
Gallant, he's coming full tilt here. Full of juice, new tyres. Let's go dance. I find that a bit hard to understand. The smiling Dave. I think the hairy seat never smiled. So Kylie and Mills in that as well at the moment. go past those boys. So, the hard charging Dave Arney. New tyres, new fresh fuel. But I'm not playing. Go,
Yeah,
son.
no, he was quick too.
Definitely a hard charge to get finishing. To finish you. And he can saying Dave Baldock, give it to Hoffy because he's a Saints supporter.
Yeah, well, there's a freaking door there. You can go out it. You wait.
There's really not much point giving it to a Saints supporter because they're just so used to it.
Gosh.
Scotty Perrins in P2, Jason down. John O'Kiley storming up behind here. Scotty Gamble. Saying you've been driving well, Nick.
Yeah, it's just, as I said, it's getting back into it. Like, just slowly building up some pace and consistency.
Probably looking to make a big move on Perrins here.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy because Scotty's on a fuel save as well.
Not too many battles there. Everyone's sort of spread out on this bloody fuel saving strategy or charging back through. This is probably the closest battle we got on track. The Baldock just giving everything away for F1 qualifying, which I was going to watch after this. But Nick De Vries apparently has just put it in the wall as good as I did at Long Beach. Well, you Dutch thing, maybe Max will put it in the wall too, Dave.
Dude, this is full of bloody good news, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Gallen's closing in quite quickly. Simon Williamson, little up to car stuck in the middle, hanging onto the back of Scotty. Of course. Just a reminder, we are doing pre-orders of the book Harry Cedo, the official history of Dave Baldock, with Gunther von Nordschleife and Blake Warboys contributing to the autobiography. So, bookings are out now. Get onto the Vets Discord. Let us know if you'd like a copy.
How's the centerfold?
Pretty hairy.
Yes, he's from south of Australia.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's the problem when you like traffic. Have a crack to get past, didn't we? As John O'Gallen drops in behind Scotty Perrins. Then John O'Kiley catches Nick Hasler in the front there.
Yeah, not my battle, that one. I'll put in a couple of fast laps just to see if because I think you can get into a bit if you're circulating too comfortably, you can make mistakes. So I think it's good every now and then again just to get back on the pace, just to get the sensors back.
Yeah, it was interesting when you sort of, you think you got the number, so it didn't hurt to sort of give it a lap or two back at full beans just to make sure that that number was still okay.
Yeah. There he goes down the inside at the last corner, is he? No, not quite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying, because of the autobiography cover, that's another reason why it's not the WKMP livery. Stay on this battle. This battle at
It's
65.
an unusual sponsorship agreement, isn't it, that he gets paid for people not to put their logos on his car?
Can't believe some people are so adverse to the colour green. Right. Back to the battle.
That explains it last night.
Let's see. Oh, Andrew Johnson off the side there. Need to stay out of the way.
I think we need to stay with this battle because I think something happens soon.
Ah, no, nothing happens. Nothing to see. Definitely building the suspense though. Jason Dunn's hanging onto the back of these boys too.
But again, if you have a look at when Scott and John last pitted, I mean, Scott's got a lot older tyres and he's still,
Doing very
you
well.
know, just by driving on the racing line, you know, not really having much trouble at all keeping John behind him.
Would be intrigued to know how Scotty was going for fuel though. Whether having John putting that much pressure on him, whether he stepped it up, started using too much.
Yeah. Have a look at the lap times now. So I've dropped down a second. Scott's still circulating at his sort of pace. Because at this stage, I'm sort of just driving to the gap.
Yeah, he's Marshy.
Right. Oh, yeah, there, look at that. That's not a gap.
That's a tough one.
I mean, it's single line.
Ooh.
Oh, and then he's...
A bit flustered.
It's that problem with once you overheat those tyres.
Yeah.
Oh, now John's waited again to readdress for the second time. That's very generous of him. Oh, Scott's almost... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, he's got his flustered.
Yeah.
Bit of red mist, bit of fluster, and those overheated tyres.
Yeah. And having to wait for traffic as well.
Yeah.
Builds that red mist even more.
So all that fuel saving, and he's...
Yeah, fuel saving, you're battling, you think you're going to be in it. Then yeah, it all comes undone. Bill for the guy. At this stage, John O'Kylie's walked out to a 6-second gap. What's Dave said? I should Bulldog's basically saying should never have tried the fuel save on a track that's hard on tyres with such a short pit lane. Lesson learned. There you go.
Thanks.
Someone's taught Dave Bulldog something.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's got to be, that's rare.
Think he's been hacked.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that too. There's no insult to me in that, so yeah, he's been hacked. Dunny doing well. He needs to get back up on behind you.
Yeah, once again.
Yeah, let him go.
Not my battle. Which is frustrating in a way when you're doing that. But when you haven't got the outright pace, you just got to work on. So you look at that lap, 25. That's so that's you can't. That's what I'm saying. Saving fuel, I'm hopeless at it. So that's me saving fuel, dropping 4 seconds a lap or 3 seconds a lap.
Yeah. I'm even doing a 122.9. I've dropped a second. Everyone around me's doing about the same. And
Right.
believe it or not, someone actually agrees with Dave Bulldog.
Wow.
Jason Dunn is a special individual.
You've opened up yourself there, Jason, to a big can of worms.
A free signed autobiography, The Harry Seaton, is on its way. $69 to $74.
How many have we given away tonight?
Not enough. A good little battle. Michael Mills was another one who came in and stopped for fuel, so he was pretty safe there.
Might have to reload the photocopier to run some more copies off.
No, David would be back in the dark ages, wouldn't you? You have one of those old ones that you used to have in the schools. You used to have to wind the oval-shaped barrels.
At this stage, I had Michael Power and John Gallen coming back at us pretty hard. Michael Mills was quite comfortable. Jeff Sanford doing really well.
I think Stephen Murray's failed the veterans induction testing, hasn't he? By lots of
think he has.
PDF and email crap.
Yeah.
Starting to get into the stage now where you started to get the feeling, as John O's off again, start to get a feeling of who's saved the fuel, who hasn't. Start to question how everyone's gone and you're on the same strategy.
Yeah, I'm even at this stage thinking, geez, I still might have to pit.
I think it was lap 70 was when I went, I'm safe, I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm still very borderline. At this stage, I still didn't have enough fuel to get to the end of the race. Even running around in 125s. But again, I was just sort of driving. I was thinking, okay, well, Dave's going to get me. So I'm driving to the gap back to Jeff.
Yeah.
But again, I wasn't going to let Dave through easy.
That was my theory of Michael Powers and Gallen. They've got to catch me, then they've got to pass me. Dave Baldock reckons he'd saved enough fuel but didn't save enough talent.
That's a pretty obvious statement, though, Dave.
Here comes Dave Arney on me.
He's flying.
So lap 72, I might have felt here. So 3 to go. Let's go for it. See what happens. I hated this corner.
Yeah, it wasn't easy to get it right. That's the thing with these Japanese tracks, they're always very technical.
Feed him some grass. Nah, too nice.
And last lap after this one.
He's got the run here.
Smoke him.
Okay, take it back. Bought me another couple of seconds.
Power's now caught up. Thank you. So Kylie's 6 seconds in front of Dunny. 10 seconds up the road from Nick. Nick's got Dave Arney coming back at him again. 2.5 back. Closing that gap real quick. And Sanford is 11 seconds up the road from that. Then this battle here behind Sanford. Just starting to think, where do you make the move?
And again, John, it's a case, isn't it? If you stick on the racing line, you know, you can really go through the corners slowly.
Yeah.
You just hold them up on the apex. Oh,
Yeah, that changed the game for the last lap.
yeah.
Geez, you come out with a Cinderella story there, John.
Yep. Not complaining. Which is quite scary when you look at the fastest lap time for the race. I think I'm in the bottom third.
Yeah, yeah. I always have a quick look at that. I think,
Dave's coming back at you now.
yeah, and on my least favourite corner, I've blocked him, and then he's, whoop,
Ooh, they're in friends.
he's at a half,
They're in
half,
friends.
which has given me the break again. Almost felt sorry for him. Almost.
Great win, the Jono.
Yeah, it was a good drive.
Great drive from Dunny as well.
Yeah,
Self-homing
great
fifth.
luck by this bloke.
Yeah, nice.
Dave Arney in fourth.
Whoop!
A little bit of twitch of the tyres there.
That's not the way out. So how much did you put the line with?
How much? I had 0.7 of a lap.
Okay, I had half a litre.
Yeah, I think a little bit less, a little bit more than that. I think I was about a litre. I think litre and a half. Yeah. So 0x race as well. So I was pretty chuffed with that. Then Mick was 6th. 7th was John O'Gallen. Michael Mills was 8th. Jeff Sandford is 9th. Adrian Zeal rounded out the top 10, so great drive from Adrian. Jeff Eddy, Scotty Perrins ended up 12th. Mel Powell ended up 13th. Paddo came across in 14th. 15th was Grenshaw. 16th was Baldock, still up 13 spots. You'll be pretty chuffed with that one. I think it's still a gain. Laurie, Bill Waters ended up home in 18th. Brendan Zatera, Richardson, Pickering, Buckland, Friend, Johnston, Marsh, Williamson, Worrell, Clapham, Nelson rounded out the finishing order. So a very tough night at the office for quite a few boys last night, I thought. Yeah. I say, yeah, it's just one of those tracks, guys, where I just think consistency. I think Jono was consistent. He didn't make a mistake, didn't put the car off the track. And Dunny as well. So it's good to see some of these quick guys in our split, you know, getting a consistent racing, so to speak.
It is the secret to a decent result in split 3 is just to cut those mistakes out. You don't need to really, like as you were saying, John, you know, your lap speed was your fastest lap was in the lowest third, but if you circulate clean and don't make mistakes, you're going to assure yourself of a good result and get that done and work on your pace. And
the strategy last night was simple: just don't keep it on the black stuff.
Yeah, you look at Scotty Perrins. I mean, he had those 2 or 3 bad corners, and it dropped him from, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th place finish down to 12.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Nick is the only one from the podium in here, mate. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I just give a shout out to obviously the series sponsors, Kumho, Logitech, all the crew at Vets. You, Jono, for putting this on for us all to sit down and have a bit of a chat and a yarn about.
That's
and the 3 people that are watching us. No, I shouldn't say that.
Still 20 in the chat. Still 20 watching.
Still 20 there, so thanks for hanging around, right?
Of course, if you haven't liked or subscribed the Vets Facebook page, YouTube page, make sure you jump in and do that as well. Like the stream. All helps.
Special shout out to all those people that took the extra effort to run special Anzac liveries as well. Of course, it's good to see. Yeah, it's great to see that you know, blokes of our age would know that probably when we were kids, Anzac Day wasn't that big of a deal, but it's the younger generation that have really kicked it on and revitalised Anzac Day, which is good because it's something that we all need to be thankful for everyone that served and in any capacity for the country to give us the freedom that we all enjoy today.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree with that one. Of course, we do have a few boys in the community as well that's been there and done that. So we appreciate what they've done. Next week, lads, we're off to Indy Road. Thoughts on racing there?
Fuel saving track, fuel save.
Extra polish for you, Hoff.
Another track that I need to learn.
Yeah.
Turn 1 chaos.
Turn 1 chaos, yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, it shouldn't be chaos.
It can be.
I'm going to put a DRS button on my rig.
Be nice to have one. Yeah, on that note, guys, we might wrap the broadcast up and we'll see everybody again. I'll try and make sure I'm up and running at 9, not half an hour late like I was tonight. And yeah, so see everyone next week. And of course, a big thanks to Hoffy, Mark, and Nick for jumping in, having a chat. And yeah, see everybody again next week.
Not a problem. And if Anakin, if you haven't got your bags packed, you may as well.
You going to make him leave the G29 behind as well, Hoff?
Yep.
Hey, on that note, we'll see everybody next week. Thanks, guys.
the ever-changing weather around the world, ever-diverse terrain and roads across the world. With Kumho Tyre that has conquered all, there is no road you cannot go. Go with Kumho. Kumho Tyre.